What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy, and it's my birthday. Yeah. 32 years old today, which, I've noticed over the past year or so that there's actually a fair number of big names that are really close to my age. Even just big name, YouTubers. Jacksepticeye had his birthday back in February, I think, something like that. And he just turned 32 then. PewDiePie's got a few more months than that on me, but he's still 32. Markiplier, I'll admit, has a full year and a day on me. So he's 33 by now. But literally exactly a year and a day. So not that far away. I mean, even if you include other people, born in adjacent years, there's actually a fair number of big names right now. And that in general got me thinking, okay, well, who are some other famous people, not just YouTubers, other famous people who were born in 1990? Because that's the year I was born. So I did a little Google search kind of thing, came upon a website called thefamouspeople.com, and literally this comes up right away. When you Google search celebrities born in 1990 or something like that. So since I'm, turning 32, I thought I would take a look at the top 32 names from this list, roughly thereabouts. So let me hop right into this. I've taken a bit of a preemptive look at this, and yeah, like I said, quite a few big names. So let me switch over to that, and right away you see two pretty darn big names, especially in acting. You've got Emma Watson, only Hermione from the Harry Potter series, as well as she's done a number of other roles at this point. Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, in both variations, both recent renditions of it, as well as other pretty big roles lately. She's actually just a few days younger than me, apparently. Emma Watson's a little bit older, but not by much. I mean, these are all people born in 1990. All right, number 3, Jennifer Lawrence. Another big name actress. The hits just keep rolling. It's getting a little further down the list as, we start getting into some kind of more obscure names. But it's going to be some big ones for a little while here. The Weeknd. Only performed at the Super Bowl halftime show very recently. No big deal. Apparently he was born in February, so, he's got a few months on me. Pretty similar to Jacksepticeye, actually. Kristen Stewart. Another big name actress. Noticing a lot of females. It's pretty female heavy early on in the list. I guess there's some sort of fan ranking sort of as to which ones are the most famous on this list. I don't know. Anyway, now I will admit the next name I don't really recognize, Canelo Alvarez. I mean, his name maybe sounds vaguely familiar, but if you just randomly brought up his name in a conversation, I wouldn't automatically be like, oh yeah, that guy, that famous boxer. Liam Hemsworth, finally a male actor on the list. It's may be up for a bit of debate as to, whether he's quite as famous as Chris Hemsworth, but still. All right. Scrolling down, Rita Ora, the name kind of rings a bell, but I'm not super familiar with her work, so to speak. Thomas Brody Sangster. Now, he's one of those people, like, I recognize his face more so than his name. And then we get to Bill Skarsgård, who's like the exact opposite. I recognize his name more than his face. But both born 1990. They look like they would be born like at least a decade apart or something. And yet. Alright, next up. Klay Thompson, basketball player. I find it interesting they show a picture of him from his college days on here, rather than, oh, no big deal, winning a couple of championships, I believe, with the Golden State Warriors. No big deal there. Now, let's see here. Bo Burnham, name vaguely rings a bell. I am not too familiar with his work either. I mean, he's a comedian, and that's really about all I know. I'm like, okay, yeah, I recognize him as a comedian. I couldn't tell you for the life of me any jokes that he does, or any, bits or anything like that. And then next we have Sarah Highland, pretty big name. Modern Family would probably be the role most people know her for. Magnus Carlson. Again, name vaguely rings a bell, and I'm like, okay, I see his name and chess grandmaster, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it seems sort of familiar. Like, I definitely could put those together, but I mean, how many people honestly keep track of chess grandmasters and stuff that they do? And next we have Seth Curry, not to be confused with, Stephen Curry. But, yeah. Again, fairly well-known basketball player. And all these people supposedly are born in 1990, which some of these, it just seems kind of ridiculous to me. But I'm trusting this website. Because literally, at the top of the list, it specifically says famous people born in 1990. So anyway, back down to where we were. Dev, is it Patel or Patel? Not sure. Face vaguely rings a bell, but I'm not super familiar with him. Grant Gustin, face looks super familiar, and I can't even place, like, which movies or roles or whatever that I am recognizing him from, but I definitely recognize him from something. Some sort of like teenage / young adult book turned movie kind of thing, I think. I almost want to say Maze Runner, but I'm not sure if that's actually accurate. Don't quote me on that. Logic. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Name sounds familiar. Had no clue he looked like that. Anyway. Damien Lillard, another basketball player. I would almost argue that... I don't know. I would argue Damien Lillard is more famous than Seth Curry here, but maybe not quite more famous than Klay Thompson. I'd put them on pretty even ground there. But anyway. Eliza Gonzalez, not super familiar. Apparently she's an actress. Machine Gun Kelly, there's a pretty notable name. Why so many downvotes? Is it just people saying they don't like Machine Gun Kelly? Maybe this is more so like, how much do you like these people, not how popular do you think they are? Okay. I could see that. But I mean, again, Really big name. Iggy Azalea was a big name for a while. She just kind of dropped off the face of the earth, seemingly. But whatever. Aaron Taylor Johnson. Oh, he looks familiar, but I could not tell you from what. Also, that's an unexpected name to see. Jonbenet Ramsey. She apparently would have been, as of August 6th, she would have been 32 years old. As of this upcoming August. Anyway. Not gonna dwell too much on that. This guy, is it supposed to be like Michel Marone? I don't know. Seems like he's foreign for sure. Well, Bitonto, Italy. Bitonto, Italy. Yeah, so we're starting to get more less familiar names, in my opinion. Luke Combs, there's a pretty big name. Certainly in country music. We got a football player. Football as in soccer. David is it De Gea? I don't know. He's apparently from Spain. If I had to guess at the pronunciation, I would go with what I just said before. Anyway, another basketball player, Draymond Green. Another footballer, Mario Balotelli. His face almost looks familiar, but I don't really keep track of football/soccer that much. So I only know like the biggest of the big names from that. Surfer Bethany Hamilton. Now that I'm getting a close look at the picture, is she the one that is lacking an arm, to put it bluntly? Maybe. Because otherwise, that's a really weird angle. Let's see here. Paul George, another basketball player. Quite a few basketball players, apparently, born in 1990. As well as actors and actresses. And if we're sticking with the top 32, lastly, we have the CEO of Snap Inc., Evan Spiegel. There are some other big names as we get further down this list. I assume that's JoJo of Casey and JoJo, Soulja Boy. Not real familiar with some of these. Hosier, DeMarcus Cousins. Jacksepticeye. See, I told you. Park Shin Hye. Not to be confused with Kim Jong Un. Oh, geez. Thomas Rhett. Badminton player. Okay. Mike DeMarco. Tony Cruz. Name sounds vaguely familiar. Dominic Sherwood. He looks vaguely familiar. Anyway, let me not carry on too long with this list or anything like that. So, that was just something I decided to dive into out of sheer curiosity, and I thought I would share with all of you. Otherwise, real quick general update on how I'm doing at age 32. Generally fairly well, I'd say. My job is nothing special, but I'm, making a living off of it. Not sure if I'd be able to make a living off of it were I to be married and have family, kids, and all that kind of stuff that I'd be supporting. But for me and me alone, it's working okay. Also, health-wise, I'm generally all right. Just some minor things here and there. Like, I very recently went and had both a dentist appointment and another medical appointment on the same day. The dentist told me I had a couple of minor cavities. This is the second consecutive time that I've gone to the dentist and been told I have small cavities. And what's weird is they're all coming in, like, between my teeth. So, lesson learned, maybe flossing actually matters. Yeah, I was kind of skeptical of that, honestly. Like, I saw a few too many articles or whatever. Really, I was kind of being lazy about it and not really wanting to do it. And then I saw some articles or whatever that were like, yeah, we're not really sure how much good flossing actually does. But color me convinced now that it actually kind of matters a bit. So, yeah, there's that minor little thing. There's a slight question as to other health things for me. The other appointment I had was with a cardiologist. Just hopefully trying to rule out the possibility of any heart issues there. Just because, long story short, I've, within the past 3 years, had 2 separate incidents of, like, completely passing out. So, my personal physician just wanted to do some more detailed checks on my heart to hopefully rule out those possibilities. But it's going to be interesting because sometime soon-ish, I'm supposed to have a heart monitor and wear that for like a month. There's also going to be a time coming up here soon when I'm supposed to go into one of the offices at the hospital and get, let's see here, an echocardiogram. And they're going to have me do like a stress test, as in like physical activity stress test, mostly running on a treadmill and probably monitoring my heart during that. Anyway, I have my own theories on the passing out stuff, and it does not relate to my heart. There's no other signs that I have, really, that I actually have heart issues. Again, my physician was just wanting to rule that stuff out. Hopefully, nothing really comes up in that regard. But, yeah, that's generally how I'm doing. No reason to believe I have any other significant health problems of any kind of note. Certainly nothing debilitating. So, yeah, on the whole, I mean, would I like to have certain other pieces of my life a little more figured out? Yeah, maybe. But, you know, I'm trying to make the best of it, as things are right now. I do have, you know, other potential ideas, plans, what have you, regarding, you know, YouTube/internet stuff. But I'd rather keep those kind of on the down low for now, aside from my YouTube channel itself, because that's a pretty obvious thing that I'm putting quite a bit of time and effort into. But yeah, anyway. So, that's it. That's your, this is in place of, you know, sometimes I do sort of update videos that are like, hey, here's something I've got coming up that might have an effect on the channel. This isn't so much, hey, this has an effect on the channel, as it is just general update on how things are going for me in life, I guess you might say. Anyway, I figured it was fitting because, you know, it's my birthday. Yeah. I guess that's about it. So, as always, like the video if you enjoyed it. Share it with other people if you want them to see. Look down in the description for info on other social media pages and how to find and follow those. And of course, leave comments down below all that with any thoughts that you have. Do you want me to do other, like, you know, celebrity list kind of videos? Maybe I could do one specifically on people born on June 29th in various years, or I don't know. That's really the only other idea that came off the top of my head. Ooh, or maybe we could do historical events from various years on that day. I don't know. Anyway, whatever ideas you have for me, let me know down below. So that's it. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you for the next video. But until then, stay cool, people.